Good afternoon, students. I'm Gertrude Namando. My email is gertrudeh93@gmail.com. I'll be your tutor for accounting as a school subject for the new module 1 to 6. That is now the name of the new course. Okay, I'm going to give you a guideline on your 2018 assignment. Okay, now upon answering the assignment, it's very important that students must familiarize themselves with the keywords such as state. If we are stating, naming, list, and identify, they are in one group. And then mostly when answering, you have to list, like for example, name. It can either be fact, object, or a certain order. And mostly when you are listing something, it's a 1 mark. So if someone asks you to list, you don't need to go on and then you give an explanation. Okay, if you are defining, you have to give the meaning of something. In most cases, we are referring to the root of the concept. And in most cases, the defining question consists of 2 marks. Explain, the student must describe something. You have to also talk about the relationship. You have to make it clear by giving a reason, and then if possible you have to give examples. Now the explaining part, mostly it's 3 or more marks. If you have to differentiate, normally if someone asks you to differentiate, they'll give you 2 concepts. And then now you have to come up with if you have to differentiate, you are giving a definition of each, or you are making a contrast between the 2 concepts. And then in most cases, it's a 4 marks question. In question 2, the student students asked to do a debtors journal, the return journal, and then the debtors ledger and the general ledger. Now, before the students make an attempt to answer the assignment question, it's very important that you read either your accounting module 1 for the NAMCOL booklet. There is a concept of, there is a theory on the debtors journal, the return, the ledger, and the general ledger. Or if you go through your accounting or your accounting didactics module. Now, once you understand and then you practice the activities that are given, once you are fine with the content, now you must now go to your assignment and then make an attempt to use the given information to draw up the given books. And please, students, on this debtors journal, when you are done with it, balance of your book. When you do a return journal, balance it off. Your debtors ledger, balance it off also. And then your general ledger. Question 3, it is the accounting equation. As we know, the accounting equation is assets is equal to owner's equity plus liability. Every transaction is having an influence on 2 accounts, and then the account which must be debited is the account which is always receiving, and the account that must be credited is the account which is always giving. And then it's also very important to show an effect. If it's an increase, indicate it with a plus. If it's a decrease, indicate it with a minus. And then where there is no effect, you indicate it with a 0. Read in your accounting didactics, there is a table on page 77 in your accounting modules that gives really a clear indication as to how to go about when you're answering the accounting equation. Question 4 is the bank reconciliation statement. As we know, when we are preparing a bank reconciliation statement, we compare the 2 books. And then when preparing the supplementary case book to update the bank account, So what are you using? You are using all the unticked items on the bank statement, which are on the debit side, and then they represent it's a standing order, it's a direct debit, it's the bank charges, and then it must be entered into the supplementary cash book that is on the credit side. And then all the unticked item on the bank statement on the credit side, it must be entered on the supplementary cash book on the debit side. And then you balance off. And then now coming to prepare a bank reconciliation statement, all the unticked item on the cash book debit side, they represent the credit outstanding deposit, and it must be entered on the bank reconciliation statement. And then the unticked item on the credit side of the cash book, it represents the debit unpresented check, and it must be entered also in the bank reconciliation statement. Please make sure you use the format which is provided on Module 1 of our NANCOL accounting books, grade 11 to 12, or on your accounting didactics, that is now page 159 to 163. And then question 5, you use the given information to come up with a trial balance. And then upon recording, make sure we have two account sections, the balance sheet account section and the nominal account section. And then we know you must know which accounts fall in the balance sheet account section, which account fall in the nominal account section, which account must be debited and which account must be credited. Once you are done with the entries, you balance of your trial balance. If it doesn't balance, go back, there is an error somewhere. If it balances, and then that means your double entry was recorded correctly. And then on there are narrations that are given. Now you have to use those narrations to come up with a general journal. And the general journal, as we know, we must write account to be debited, account to be credited in the narration. But in this case, I don't want you to write the narration. I just want you to write which account is to be debited. You indicate the amount. Which account is to be credited. You indicate the amount. And again here, the one that is receiving, it must be debited. The one that is giving, it must be credited. The general comment, the students must not leave the questions blank, please. It's advisable that you read through the given topic of the assignment before you attempt to answer the assignment questions. And then you must read the resources that are given. It's the NANCOL modules, it's the Iol modules. And then, like I said, if possible, you try to go to YouTube, and then you can just type in the topic. There are so many presenters there that can present the topic. Once you are okay, and then it's now when you can make an attempt to answer the given question. And please don't leave questions blank. An assignment, it's an open book. It's an opportunity where you can ask direction from people instead of leaving the questions blank. And that's it. All the best with your studies.